Thank you for being here with me today. I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm super passionate about this subject and I'm so ready to share everything I know with all of you. You are here today because you just want more. You want to change. You want something. You want to transform your life. So, who am I? I am Dr. Estee. I'm a transformational purpose coach. And I make people's dreams and purpose come true. I give that clarity, I help people discover it, and help people do it. And I'm telling you here that you, and I mean you only, have the ability to change your life. You may not have all the how, you may not know all the steps, but you can do it. And I am proof of that. And what I'm going to show you today in this short masterclass is the first step in reclaiming that power and having that, just this alone, just that one step, you're going to reclaim a part of your life and be moving towards that. So where do we start? So I can tell you, I know a lot of you here are successful. I know a lot of you here have the check marks that are given to us in life, right? Whether it's the house, whether it's the education, whether it's the job, whatever. I hear you, I see you. I was that person. I had this great job. I made 6 figures. I raised $80 million, mi gente. $80 million is not chump change. I did that shit. I raised it. I did good work. I have like a freaking wall filled with all my premios, awards, everything you could think of. Esther brought this, Esther. But people, I was freaking miserable. I would wake up in the middle of the night with panic attacks and I didn't know why. I am the most organized person you'll ever meet. Ask any of my friends, ask anybody. I have like everything organized, calendars, trips, whatever. But all of a sudden, I was becoming disorganized, okay? I started to lose the joy in my job and with my friends and with people. I felt like with no direction. I felt like lost. I lost myself and I'm like super joyful. And that spark was gone. And this was not the first time this happened to me, people. Even in my personal life, I was once married, once upon a time, my first marriage, okay? I was doing what everyone told me to do. You know, the box. Marriage. You're that age. You need babies, right? All those things society says. ¿Dónde están mis nietos? Where's this? Where's that? Right? All the pressure. My friends all had rings. Get a ring on it. Whole thing, right? I had that. And so then, of course, you know, a bunch of failed relationships along the way. There was the first guy that came to me that was like, yes, I love you. Marry me. And I just got married. And neither of us had taken the time to really think about what did we want out of life? What did I want then? You know what I mean? I was just fulfilling a check mark. So, I mean, you already know how that ends, right? Yeah, not very good. And the thing is that it was really hard, right? And I don't know if a lot of you maybe feel this way, but I was covered in guilt, the Latino guilt. You know, my parents had immigrated from Nicaragua. They had escaped 3 civil wars, right? They had sacrificed everything. I mean, there's this whole other story how I almost died when I was 2 and they won the lotto, spent all the money on me. So you can imagine the levels of guilt that I had on myself and expectations that I had to give back to them, right? And so, you know, and in their defense, right, they knew like, hey, we were in survival mode. Right? What they wanted for us was not to be in survival mode, to not have to clip coupons, right? To not have to just go out to dinner for someone's birthday, right? They wanted more, right? They wanted us to have stability. And I understand that. So, right? So the answer was education. So I chased the titles, the degrees, all of it, right? I was like, boom, best my class, scholarship, this, that, right? Got the PhD. Hey, I am 0.001% of the world, people. I'm a Latina PhD, right? I did it. But then what, right? I remember the worst feeling I had was when I finished my PhD. And I was so ashamed to share that with my friends and my family, right? I had that piece of paper in front of me and this horrific emptiness inside. And I was like, how can I feel empty? look what I did, look what I accomplished. But I felt so vacía. And I couldn't explain it then. But I knew it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough for me. It was not my calling. And I don't know if you guys have been there, right? And it doesn't have to be professional. Like I said, it could be personal. But I felt like something I should be celebrating, I was not celebrating. So then, right, that leads to a bunch of other problems, right? Leading, then I'm lost. Okay, so I take this job, right? That at first I'm like, oh, well, it fits one of my check boxes. It says it helps millions of people. I like to help millions of people. Great, let me sign up. Sign up for that job, right? I travel, I do things. Great, there I go. Esther again, climbing the social ladder, right? Got promoted, got this, got the title. Here I am, director of an office, right? Raised that millions of dollars, which I told you about. Again, back here, miserable, right? Mind you, right? Also get divorced. Yeah, you knew that I was gonna end that way, right? But also, it also gave me a lesson, right? Why were all my relationships failing before? Why did my marriage fail? Because Esther did not stop to think about what Esther wanted. Esther was people pleasing and doing everything what everyone else wanted. And I know I get really emotional, but it's true. I was doing what everyone else wanted for me. I was also not even speaking up. I was just like, well, there we go. Esther's gonna do this. Esther's gonna be like serving everyone else, right? But you know what? I didn't think about who I wanted for a partner. Who did Esther want? I wanted someone I wanted a Latino man, but I wanted a Latino man that didn't fit the machismo thing. I wanted someone to help me at home. I wanted someone to be a partner and celebrate me and not put me down. And so what I do, I had to know what I wanted to get what I wanted. And when I did that work, I met him and I got it, okay? And then the same thing I realized in every part of my life, I had to identify it, to discover it, to obtain it, right? So when I'm sitting here in my job, right? And it did have a lot of positive things, but it had a lot of negative things, toxic environment. But why was it toxic to me? Because I was only looking at one element it was fulfilling. And I don't know if all of you have experienced that, right? Sometimes, they come up with these bullshit things, 80-20 rule, or you can't have it all. Be happy with what you have, right? That is bullshit, people. You can have every single thing you want, but you have to believe you can have it and you have to work on it. Okay, I was believing that crap too. So I was like, well, my work gives me benefits. Look how good it is to my family. It lets me travel. But you know what? It stifled me because there was so much more of me. I was entrepreneur. I was innovative, right? I didn't want to be stuck in bureaucracy. But again, I was trying to just see it as, well, Esther, you should be grateful, right? We should be grateful for what we have. We should be super happy we have these opportunities, right? I was a success story. One, I had made it out, right? I was a success to my high school, success to my college, right? I was president of Latino organizations in grad school. I was an example. And all throughout the years, I mentored and coached thousands of people. I helped them reach their potential, them reach their purpose, right? And this translates it, right? Because my last job, I was a development professional. What does that mean, right? You help countries, communities, organizations achieve their purpose and their power, right? So here I was also helping them, right? Listening to them, what they wanted, helping them achieve it. Again, doing it for everyone else but me, because I felt I needed to live in a box, me, and everyone else depended on me. And I had to do that, right? So I had layers of guilt, expectation. I felt overwhelmed. The thing is though, mi gente, your body catches up to you. Because I was getting health effects, right? I was getting cysts all over my body. I was getting pains, sciatica, right? I was telling you about the panic attacks, anxiety, right? And each moment of these life, like my life where I've gone through this, right? Because, life is continuous. You're going to be, this is something that I know I'm going to face through my whole life, right? You feel these things. Your body tells you first, but we ignore it. We say it's other stuff. No, it's because I have too much, It's because I'm managing like my kids, my life, my job, whatever. People, I still manage my kids, my life, and my job. And I'm going to tell you, those health things are not there anymore. Those health things that I had before was not because I was managing 5 things. It was because I was managing the wrong things. And the same thing in my job. Actually, I did work 15 hours in my last job. I probably work the same now in my business, but it's tough. It's for me. It's for me. And look, not everyone's going to like the new change. When you actually do this work, and if you're actually committed to transforming yourself, it is scary. It's very scary. And it's confusing at first because you're going to be like, wait, so what did I do all these years, right? Why did I do this? And it's gonna be sometimes a little shocking at first. But once you actually come to terms with it, you're gonna realize I've actually been doing pieces of it throughout my whole life, right? It's just been in other ways, When I actually realized it, I realized I was doing it through my volunteer work. This is something I've been doing since I was like a kid. I was doing it in my professional life a little bit, in my personal life a little bit. I was filling it in because I needed it, right? It was part of me. But I hadn't let it all out of the box because I thought I had to live in the box because I didn't want to disappoint anyone. I didn't want to let down my family. How do you explain to your extended family and friends, like, hey, I've made it, right? But, I still want more, right? How could I do that? I still have family, right? In Nicaragua, I still, I have the communities that I help, right, with my work, right, that are in totally different situations. And here I am like, hey, I have financial stability, but yet I'm still miserable. It's really hard to admit that, right? And be honest with that, because then you're like, oh my God, does that make me selfish? That makes me a horrible person because I'm not grateful for everything that I've accomplished. And I should just be happy for that, And I remember this really important moment in my life, right? Where I sat down with my dad and I was like, I was having this was my meltdown, People will call it whatever they want, midlife crisis, whatever. It's not a midlife crisis. It's an awareness of where you're going and whether it aligns with you. So fuck that whole word about midlife crisis. I think it's crap. I think it's maybe that's the time that you've allowed yourself to realize who you are and you're ready to transform. And I was in that moment. And I sat there with my dad and he goes to me, but, I don't understand, Estee. You've helped thousands of people. Look at all those people you've helped and what a difference you made. And I had, I don't really have public meltdowns. And I had a meltdown. I'm serious that everyone's there in that room. It was like my husband and my sister, and they were like, what the hell is going on now? And, but it was that. I was like, that is not my legacy. And that just came out, right? And so that, mi gente, is step 1 of the process. So in the program I teach, it's 8 actual steps, okay? And it's a lot of work and it's a lot of deep reflection. And the work requires you to really, really be honest with yourself. And I think that's the hardest part because you can do the 8 steps, but lie. I've had people I've worked with and be like, no, I'm happy. I'm totally happy. I have all this stuff. I'm happy. Okay, that's fine. Okay, you're happy. But then you ask me questions, it's like, then it comes out and then it comes out. But it's like this, it's like you can be happy with your spouse, right? You can be happy with your kids. I'm not saying happiness is something different. I'm talking about, are you living and aligning your inside with your outside? Is it really matching? Or did you also put yourself in the box where everyone else expects you to be or knows you to be? Another example. For example, people didn't know that I was outgoing, right? I was pegged in this box of being shy and the hard worker. Why? Because that is the role I played with my family, with friends, whatever, right? In my life, blah, blah. Again, people pleaser, helping everyone else, right? But they didn't know that side of me, or they didn't know that, right? I wasn't communicating myself or what I wanted or my inside to other people. And it wasn't until I did the work of understanding who is Esther that Esther came out of the box. And it's so natural for me now, right? Because I am being who I am. And so those feelings that you're feeling of wanting more time, more freedom, right? Of a new relationship, whatever it is, right? Your spark. It's everything is like has manifested into something else, but it's you. You want out of that box. You want to escape. You want to set yourself free. I can't even tell you how many times I said, I need freedom. I'm suffocating. I was suffocating in my own life. I was suffocating in my 5-bedroom, humongous house with a driver and staff and everything, right? I was suffocating in my pension job. I was suffocating in that one marriage I had, right? I was suffocating in my childhood, town I grew up in, It's those feelings, right? Your body is telling you, right? And then that manifests, right? You can't concentrate. You can't focus. You can't keep your calendar together, right? You're overwhelmed by everything, right? And because you're living what everyone else wants you to live, but not living what you want to live. Okay, so what is step 1 of this whole process I'm telling you about? Wow. Before I tell you that word, I want you to keep a very open mind about it. A lot of times we focus on the day-to-day because we're too scared to look into the future, right? We're surviving. Right, and that's why like the survival word is so important to me, right? Because I felt like that was my childhood. We were surviving, right? And so you may be surviving, right? If you're feeling this overwhelmed, stuck, I'm drowning, I'm suffocating, you are in survival mode. So you're just trying to get to the next day, right? But to really, really transform and get out of this box and make those feelings go away, you got to move past today. Okay. So we're gonna go a little further than today, and you're gonna think about death. Okay, I know. You'd be like, Esther, that's freaking dark. Now we're going into death? What the hell? I signed up to transform my life. Well, this is the thing. Death is coming to you, okay? We like to think about it. I've realized that with wills and things, even my parents didn't want to think about it. I think it took me 20 years to get them to write their will and their stuff. This is no joke, no exaggeration. 20 years, because they didn't want to think about it. But guess what? It's coming. It's coming. Your death is coming too. And actually, we don't know when it is. You don't know when it is. It could be tomorrow. It could be 10 years from now, good 20. But we are conditioned to look at it as, it's over there. It's over there. I'm not gonna think about it. It's too negative. It's too scary. It's over there. But mi gente, step 1, you have to think about it. Okay, I need you to think about your death. Okay, so we're gonna start there, your death. Now, I'm gonna make it a little closer time frame for you. I want you, if you wanna pause this, you can, but I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen. Okay, piece of paper, pen. Okay, and I want you to think about death today or tomorrow. I know, grim again. We gotta do this. You gotta do this part. Okay, you gotta think about death today or tomorrow. Now, I know a lot of cultures are differently. This is part of my culture, which I completely reject, which is how we do funerals. You guys can argue with me all the time you want, whatever, but I feel very passionate about this. I do not embrace Latino funerals. Okay, I don't. I'm all about the funeral where you celebrate the person's life and you talk about their legacy. Separate subject, but let's pretend it's an Esther type of funeral, okay? Where we are going to celebrate your life. So whatever culture you're a part of, just pretend, let's just do it for just exercise. You are in the celebration of your life. Okay, so everyone is standing around. You have passed away today or tomorrow. What are they going to say about you? Okay, what is everyone going to say about you? I want you to write down your eulogy or whatever. You could think about it also as a newspaper article they're going to write about you tomorrow. I want you to write it down. And I don't want you just to say simple things. This is the part where I need you to be honest with yourself, like completely honest. Okay? I don't want you to write some sugarcoat thing, and I don't want it to be super general. She was kind, she was nice, blah, blah, blah. No, let's get grainier, okay? What would they say about you? Good or bad, right? Normally it would be good because they're celebrating your life. What would they say? What did they say that you did? What would they say that you helped with, impacted with, okay? Write it down like today. Spend some time. Details. Now, this is the part that's going to be the hardest. I want you to now put that aside. Okay, you're going to set it aside here. Boom. And I want you to get a new piece of paper, new pen. Okay. I want you to rewrite it now on what you wanted to say. What you wanted to say in the future. So let's say all of a sudden, oh my God, you woke up from coma. You didn't really die. Yay. Great. So now you have an extra X time, whatever you want. 5 years, 10 years, 15. You got a second chance. I want you to rewrite this exercise. Rewrite it from what you want them to say. What is the impact that you want to leave on this world? And I want you to write it in all the details and everything. And don't give me the general, okay? I don't want to hear X person accomplished, X person was successful. You can start there, but I really want you to tease that out, right? This is what I do with my clients. This is what I do with the people. I don't want generic words. What is it? Tease it out that looks like for you. Okay, now this is so powerful because your rewrite, when you do it, it's going to leave you confused. It's going to leave you a little bit unsettled. Okay, but more importantly, it's going to give you direction. It's going to show you your A to B. It's going to already show you the missing piece from where you are now and where your mind already knows it wants to be. It's already in your mind. It's already in here. And that's what I mean about your inside matching your outside. It's in there. You just have blocked it because society does not want to talk about death. It doesn't want to talk about legacy. Try to Google legacy. It's about people's retirement. It's about this and that. Trust me, I've Googled it. There's not even a lot of books on legacy. Did you know that? We don't want to talk about it. We don't. We want to deal with today. We want to fix our immediate problems today, but we don't talk about it. But I need you to talk about it. And this exercise, I want you to also, after you're doing it, talk about it. Talk about it with someone. Talk about it with your spouse, your friend, your mom, whatever. But you need to share it, right? You need to think about it because it's in here. It's in here. It's in here. And now, when you're not doing what's in here, out here, that's when you get those feelings. That's when your overwhelm comes. That's when your feelings of stuck come. That's when your feelings of unfulfillment emerge. Your health, your suffocation, your panic attacks, procrastination. Here's a fun fact for you. Procrastination is not your number one problem. It's a manifestation of negative emotions, right? You're trying to give yourself a sort of an immediate gratification for something else that you're feeling, right? And so, yes, I can teach you the 1,001 time management tools. And you will get that as part of my program, but in a different way. Okay? And I could teach you how to like fight your procrastination, everything. I know everything about procrastination, everything about time management, everything about action plans, right? But that stuff comes after, you know? I want you to know you, right? That's what's going to transform your life. You knowing you. Then we make an action plan. Then we make a calendar so you stick to it and you live it, right? Then we put in there your procrastination as rewards, like that. But I don't want to just come and fix your life now. I want to fix the life that you want to live, that you like want and feel, what's inside here, the life that you want it to match with your outside. And this is not something that's going to happen in a month. No, you know, sometimes the plan might be a 5-year plan. It might be a 1-year plan, maybe a 10-year plan, right? It could be that you have been hiding in this box for who knows your whole life. So it's going to take some time, right? To come out who you are and little by little and talk about it. There's no right time frame. Okay. Or it could be that you have been doing it little by little, like, you know, and now you're just coming out. You know, it took me a whole year to leave my job. You know, there's no time frame, a whole year, because I had to be comfortable with it. You know, once I understood where I wanted to go, I had to be okay with it. And I knew there was a bunch of stuff I needed to work on myself first. Because part of that, when you get to know you, you're going to be like, okay, wait, I need to understand why I did those things and I need to work on myself. I went to therapy, I got coaching, all this stuff, right? I needed that first. And so that's part of your plan. But the legacy, that's key. That's key. That's going to blow your mind, right? If you really actually do the exercise truthfully and are really honest with yourself. And remember, your legacy, and I just want this to be very clear, it's not about your kids, it's not about your parents, okay? Because that's the mistake too. We're like, oh, I want to leave financial security for my kids. Oh, I want to make my parents proud. No. You, legacy about you. What impact do you want to leave in this world? Your kids can be part of it, but they should not be your entire legacy, okay? Your legacy should be you and you only. So I leave you with that. And this is only one of eight things, yes, 8, that identify your purpose and reason for being, right? So I just want to tell you that, you know, I have this great program. I walk you through it. It's going to be hard. It's a lot of work. There's so many other questions, okay? There's a lot of questions you have to answer and work on yourself and go from there. But I promise you it's absolutely worth it because it's going to give you the clarity that you need, right? The peace of knowing who you are on the inside and where you want to go, right? And then from there, everything else you can make a plan for, right? We can organize yourself so you make it work. All the other stuff will come, right? But this you gotta tackle on for those feelings to go away, right? And I leave you with sharing what my exercise said, okay? Just so you guys get an idea. So when I wrote my legacy, it started off with, Esther helped thousands of people. You know, she strived and was the best in everything that she did, right? She traveled around the world. You know, she met lots of people. She left an imprint where she went. And she always, like, if you needed something, she was there for you, right? Cool. I helped a lot of people. Like I was telling you, my meltdown to my dad, right? Great. I helped a lot of people, thousands of people. I left an imprint, right? You would think, right? Reading it, why isn't Esther happy with that? That sounds great. That sounds like a great legacy. But it wasn't mine. It was not mine. It was not my rewrite. What did my rewrite say? Esther was a transformational thought leader. She was featured in magazines, Time, Forbes, okay? She was widely, worldly known. She didn't help thousands, she helped millions around the world. She changed the way we think about purpose, the way we think about our dreams. She gave permission for everyone to live their purpose and dreams, because I believe that if you live your purpose and your dreams, actually, a lot of other things fix themselves. There's gonna be a reduction of crime and violence, or more employment. There's gonna be changes in the world, okay? Everything. Because people are doing and living their potential and what they want and don't feel stifled and don't give up. Okay, so you see how different that is? It's very different. I knew from there my A to B, right? I wasn't even close. So you can imagine how I felt. Felt horrible. Felt horrible. Like, nowhere in there did it include director of a huge office. Nowhere in there did it include PhD. Nowhere in there did it include like 5-bedroom house. Did you hear that? No. Right? So imagine writing this when you have all these check marks. It was pretty crappy, right? I felt horrible. I felt like, what the hell did I do? What the hell did I do? You know, and then I was like, oh my God, and now what? I don't even know how to reach millions. I didn't study like social media. I didn't study film and communications. I don't even know like the first step. I'm not connected. You know, I come from immigrant family. I don't come from rich background. And then what is everyone gonna think and feel because I'm ungrateful and because I wanna go do this stuff? And then are people gonna understand me? Is my spouse gonna wanna be with me now? Is my family gonna reject me? You gotta let that go. I'm gonna tell you right now, let that go. Yes, those fears were true. I felt them. And that's the work I had to do, where I had to be okay with, yes, this is the direction I'm going. And guess what? I made a plan. I learned it. I'm learning social media. I'm here talking to you, right? I'm writing a book. I'm getting there, okay? So be gentle with yourself as you're writing this exercise. It may feel so far out there, but I promise you it's not. It's not. You know, you just need a plan. It'll happen. You know, what's most important is like once you realize what it is, and I realize what it is to teach all of you, right? That you can transform your life, that you can live your purpose, right? Once I realized that every day, it's not a destination point for me anymore. I live it every day. And every day I'm fulfilled. Every day I feel free. Every day I feel clear. I feel peaceful. There's all those feelings before, those negative feelings we talked about, they're gone. And it happens, no joke. Like once I started living it, I woke up every day telling my husband, thank you for supporting me, because I so free, I'm free. I even put a big Libre sticker on my bed. And I promise you'll get that too. You're gonna get this huge aha, okay? But it does take work and you have to be committed to it. So I leave you with that and do the work. It's absolutely worth it. I believe in you. I know you can do it. I've seen thousands of people do it and I've seen them have success. And I know you can be one of them too. And more importantly, you can gain the freedom and take control of your life and be who you are on the inside, on the outside. And just as a bonus, don't just take my word for it. I want to invite my husband to tell you how it transformed his life.
Oh my gosh. Okay, hello.
And I didn't warn him.
Wow, no. It's terrifying. It's terrifying on so many levels, right? On one way, you're terrified because the program makes you see where you're lacking, you know. And I'm the same boat. I'm a Latino with a PhD. Yeah. There was a point in my life where I had all of those check boxes also, you know, everything that you would think should be like the summation of happiness and joy and bliss and fulfillment, and it just wasn't. And actually, it's one of the things that we had in common in a lot of ways. But I mean, I went to the doctor one time. I was really pretty young. I went to the doctor, and he said, basically your body is eating itself. I had horrific insomnia, everything, everything. And then that through the program, you realize that it is not you, that there's a piece of you that is in here. I mean, it's in here, and I'm sure it's the same way for you. It's in here, and it just you haven't been in the place mentally, environmentally, to be able to let it come out. And then when you go through this program and suddenly that barrier between your inside and your outside isn't there anymore, that's scary too, right? Because it's the, oh shit, now what? It's the now what, right? So I understand why Esther wanted to carry you through this legacy exercise, because that is what breaks down that barrier for you. And what's next is the now what, right? Yeah. It's following through on that and creating the plan and creating the plan that is true to you, right? That's true to where you want to go, where you want to lead this, and where you want to end up. Yeah. Ultimately, right?
And we only went through one of the things, okay? The plan is going to include all 8 aspects, okay? So if you do join the program, you're going to do all 8 exercises. I think one of the clients we worked with called it's like one of the gynecologists, But you need all 8 of it. Like, it's not enough just with legacy alone. You need all 8 before you even start doing the plan.
Yeah.
Okay. Because really, I just want to leave you with that there, because I don't want you just to go home with this legacy and think, that's it. This is the first step. This is going to open your mind 100%. But it's not the full picture. The full picture is another 7 parts that are going to go poof, 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 poof. And then, we're going to look at the intersection of all 8 of these parts, with your legacy, right? Legacy is only one of the 8. And then create the plan for you, right? And just funny story is that he was the hardest to crack, okay?
When she talked about that, that whole 10-year person, that may or may not have been.
Yeah. The hardest, right? And it's hard, right? Because we know each other, we know that, right? And so I guess, it's scary, right? He was scared to find out what did it say, right? Yeah. And then I would know what it said, right?
But at the same time, the other part of it though is that you realize that maybe you haven't been doing it perfectly, but it's the same thing that Esther said. Who you are comes out, that? So part of you has been doing that, you know what I mean? So it's scary. It's scary at first, and then you realize, what? I'm not that far off. Mm-hmm. I can do better. I can do this better. Maybe there's some big decisions that I need to make, but I'm not that far. You know what I mean? And it's just really getting that whole comprehensive view of yourself and where you want to take yourself and what you want to do.
And then what's stopping you, right? I mean, It's a whole part of this program, right? So you're going to see, I've been doing it little by little. But there have been roadblocks. Things that have stopped you, right? Why have you been living in this box? But we explore all of that, and that's a whole other thing. but that's important too, right? It's one thing to identify, but you have to understand like the full picture of it.
Yeah.
It's so important.
And it's worth saying that as part of the program, you get both of us.
Yes. So Paul's gift, Dr. Rivera's, is to help people unleash, you know what I mean? Like really see the potential they have, right? I mean, because this work goes beyond, like not just your professional, personal life, like what we're talking about, but this goes on to now you. Now you can showcase your best you. Now you can showcase your best you on a CV, on a resume, on an interview, right? I mean, that's what we used to see with people. We've helped like thousands with CV and resumes, and we always tell them, we are going to put that aside because you need to know who you are first before you're even putting things down on paper, right? People make the mistake of identifying themselves by their to-do lists and tasks. You're not a to-do list and tasks. You're not defined by all these overwhelming things that are given to us in life. You are you. So this has so much bigger applicability, right? And showcasing who you are and showcasing like your true inner self. And, you know, if you find yourself stuck on those questions, it's because you haven't dug deep enough and understanding that, right? And again, that's how it manifests all those then self-doubt, right? Then I don't know my strengths. I can't offer anything. And yes, you do have strengths. Let me emphasize that. You do have it. You do have a legacy you want to leave. You do have all that, right? You just have to discover it and align your inner and your outer, okay? And I promise you, if you do this work, you're going to be more clear on what that is, that. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, right? Because I see that when actually organizations align, because let me blow your mind even more, okay? Once you do this work, you can then do this work with others and see the synergies, right? So imagine, then you have groups, then you have communities, then you have organizations, right? Then you're not gonna go around and just pick whatever job. You're gonna pick a job that aligns with who you are and your purpose, right? Then you're gonna, like when you're in an organization, you're gonna see what aligns with you and your team, right? This goes big, governments, countries, right? An aligned purpose and belonging, right? We all wanna be part of something. But you can't be part of something unless you understand who you are. Because then how do you know what you're bringing to the table? How do you know you're aligning? So this work goes even beyond the one. I have seen it. We have experienced it in our work. Paul's also a development professional. We have seen how when you apply this at a bigger scale, it's humongous impact. And if everyone is bought in, then it's sustainable, long-lasting. The failure is when people are not bought in, they've not aligned, either because they haven't done the work themselves or the group hasn't done the work together, then yeah, it's gonna die in a year or two. Everyone's just like, whatever, it's there, it's something to do. But you don't really believe in it. It's not really a part of you. So we leave you with that. This can create huge change. I believe that. I believe if we all do this, not only are we all going to be fulfilled, but freaking we can change the world, you know, and change all these things that are put all over us, right? Imagine if we could live free from all that and live who we are and give our best self. Imagine if I hadn't set myself free. I wouldn't be here with Paul today. Right? Imagine how horrible that is, because it's like, it's amazing. And then we wouldn't be here, right, with you right now, sharing this, you know? And so think about that. That's so impactful, right? Yeah. So please sign up below, right? Either one-on-one or a group coaching program that's going to be coming soon. Sign up for the wait list. We want to see you there. We want to work with you, get you excited, get to know you, transform, you know, transform your life. We're ready. We're hyped. We want you there. We want to see you there. We care about you. We believe in you. Yeah.
100%. We're ready.
Awesome.